Empty supermarket shelves and long queues as rumors of a looming lockdown hang over Hong Kong. A report this week by the government-friendly Singtao Daily newspaper says a citywide lockdown is due to take place during compulsory testing of every resident later this month. Authorities previously ruled out such a drastic measure, but directives from Beijing urging a lockdown to force a return to zero cases are once again shaking the public's faith in Hong Kong's government.
梗係唔可以啦，用下腦諗下啦，基本上就一定咧要與細菌病毒共存，全世界都知㗎，但係得於香港政府就唔知，唔係唔知，但係睇大陸做嘢。
Hospitals are overwhelmed and morgues have reached capacity. One virologist at a Hong Kong university tells us that the current crisis reflects the authorities' failure to accept that an outbreak was inevitable and to prepare accordingly. Fearing government reprisals, he asked that we conceal his identity.
Unfortunately, lessons were not learned. There was no preparation done. There was literally no preparation done. They were convinced they were impervious. They were convinced that they could ever fail. And this has been a failure of a government that doesn't answer to its own people.
COVID has been politicized to such an extent, he says, that no middle ground has been considered between the relatively lax approach pursued by London or Washington and the harsh measures imposed by Beijing.
It's not UK versus China. There are places in the world that did this well, like Singapore, Japan, South Korea, Denmark, Iceland, Australia, New Zealand. All these countries are like zero COVID countries that transitioned, and all of them are in a sense success stories because they pulled off the concept of protecting everybody until they got to the point where vaccines and medical care caught up.
Mainland experts are in Hong Kong to build vast new isolation wards, and the city has already earmarked tens of billions of dollars to bankroll the battle for zero COVID. But he says it is not too late to learn from the experience of others who have weathered the worst of the pandemic.
Set up triage, set up isolation facilities for those that can't sit at home, inform people. People have been so terribly informed throughout this whole thing. At this point, there is no point to any of this testing and isolation theater because there's simply no capacity. They have people on their advisory panel that are telling them that this is like stupid and impossible. I know this because I know these people personally.
Whether or not a full lockdown takes place, Hong Kong faces difficult decisions about the long-term prospects of its zero-COVID approach. Who they listen to inform that decision could be the decisive factor. Ryan Ho Kilpatrick for TaiwanPlus.